Welcome to our podcast where we are going to explore tools and techniques to help us achieve mindfulness and to deal with stress in our daily life. This topic is more than relevant today in our fast paced world. From the overuse of social media and smartphones, we will explore how these modern day factors affect our mental well being and share practical tips and strategies from our own experiences. Joining, I am Emre, and joining me are Liviu and Michele. Today, together, we will navigate through personal experiences and discuss the tools and techniques that have helped us find balance and peace in our daily life. So, how are you today?
Quite good, I think.
Yeah, yeah. The main answer is will be good, but it's so much more than this. Yeah.
Of course, of course.
Yeah.
This is a complex world. So I want to start with the first question to you. Do you have any tools and techniques to deal with stress in your daily life?
Should I start?
Yes.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. So yes, I use some tools and techniques. I think that if we speak about mindfulness, first of all, we should define what mindfulness is, right?
Yes.
And as a word, it came from the ancient Buddhist, and it's been translated in the 60s, like the term mindfulness. But just as karma, it mindfulness also it's been redefined, and people started to put new meanings towards this term. So sometimes it's misunderstood, because mindfulness it's referring to a state of it's not necessarily a state, but it's referring to being aware about awareness in the present moment. And yes, over the time we nowadays we use mindfulness as a term for everything, like being mindful. Sometimes we use it as a term for pointing towards the state of tuning out. Like I'm doing some sports or some kind of I'm listening to music, so I tune out from reality, and we call that mindfulness as being into the now. But I feel like in Buddhist texts it's more about being the observer of the world, and not just tuning out using all these things around us. It can be music or arts or sport or crafts or anything, to tune out, to forget about the world and just focus there. But it's more about a state of awareness, of objectivity, of being the observer of the world. So here I think it's the main point where it is misunderstood.
You think it's more an inner theme?
Sorry?
An inner theme.
Yeah. As long as it depends on something exterior that we cling to, and we just focus on that and we lose ourselves, it's not necessarily what mindfulness refers to.
Yeah,
but it's more about being the observer
Okay.
of everything that happens.
Seeing
whole
the bigger
experience.
picture.
Of course.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So from this point, for myself, there are tools and techniques I use. The main tool I just use right now is the breathing. It's a great tool to have, like in the pocket, all the time, because I realize whenever I'm stuck with something into my mind, my breathing becomes superficial, becomes from the chest, And when I realize this, the moment I realize it, I just let it go, put it into the belly, just let everything go, and my mind also relaxes. Lets go of that thought. And what those thoughts are, they will be, most of the time, they are about this ego trying to be somebody. Whenever I try to be somebody, I want to I don't know, be somebody in your eyes. I want you to look at me in a certain way, you know. That is where I just lose myself. I'm stuck to that mind. When I let go, everything relaxes, you know. Everything becomes relaxed and chill and cool, and I can observe these thoughts. It's easy. So yeah, I use in my case all the time. I use breathing as a reminder to be here. Yeah.
And Mikhail, do you also practice breathing?
I also practice breathing because in the real life I'm a referee in my life, in my daily life.
It's a stressful job.
It's a stressful job, and it's a job where you have to make decision in a really short time in an environment that is hostile to you, and you are alone in a field, so you have to take decision, and your mind is very stressed in that moment. In some moment, you also can have fear, also this kind of things. So you have to relax, breathe, and relax your mind, so your mind is not stuck by the things, by the fears, by the fear to go wrong, to make the wrong decision, and so you can make the better decision for the game, and to be a better referee. And this also helped me in my daily life with exams, with university.
Of course.
It's really useful.
Situations like this where we have to make decisions for the betterment of all really puts stress in our mind. For example, as you said, the exams are also a big source of stress for me, and I use breathing whenever I get into a obstacle in my mind. So inhaling and exhaling as peaceful as possible. This is why we call breathing a effective tool. So, do you have any other tools that we can speak of?
Well, yeah. Apart from this tool that I implement daily, in every moment, trying to be as much as possible present and aware of all the situation, all the thoughts, the feelings, the emotions, the memories, everything that comes to my mind, and also whatever happens outside of this body, and the perceptions through the senses. It's not fighting with those, but being aware of them. I use the breathing for it. And also daily I try to implement meditation as much as I can. Right now we are in Granada. It's like I changed the environment. I find it some days I find it harder to go into the meditation in the morning, you know, like proper meditation, like 45 minutes. But I try to practice it because it really changes the whole dynamic of the day. It keeps me, for now, I need this tool because it keeps me in a more aware state. I can really see the difference between a day that I meditate and a day that I don't. So therefore, it's a tool that works for me for now. Okay, and also I use reading. I create a balance between practice and theory and knowledge, you know, because I feel like there should be a balance. It's a saying that says if you read 1,000 books, you should walk 1,000 miles, you know. So it's an equilibrium between two. So I practice reading. I usually read Buddhist texts, like the ancient ones, like the sutras, but this is just the culture that or the tradition that resonates with me. But I also see the same thing in other traditions as well, you know.
Yes. So your culture about mindfulness also comes from the book, from Buddhist book.
From this tradition, of
Yes.
course. And I can see how mindfulness as a term that we all take now and use, it also came from this tradition from the 60s when people in the US and other parts of the world, the hippies and start to experience with all kinds of states, and they are willing to explore life in a deeper way. So they also end up into the Eastern philosophy and start to evolve in this side. And also 60s was the period when Buddhism came from China to America through Sherfu and a lot of monastics there.
Yes. I don't have other tools. I also read. Don't read a book about mindfulness about this theme, but read also relax me. I read especially before going to bed because it relaxes me and helps me to sleep better. If I don't read before the bed, my mind is full of things, and I can sleep well. And I'm also curious to try meditation. I've never tried it. I tried it, but not very effective. 5-10 minutes, and not very well because also my mind is continually.
Well, that's exactly the point, because the meditation is not being in a state where there are no thoughts. The meditation is a state where it's a point where you are the observer of the thoughts. So this is the first thing we encounter, the fact that our mind is not stopping, and we come into the meditation with the idea that we should go there and the mind should be really calm and we should be really calm and tranquil and everything. But that's not true. If you have a good known advisor, if you go with a teacher that would guide you, you will realize that this is a normal thing. When you enter meditation, your mind will be nuts. You put your body in a fixed state. You just stop it there, and the mind doesn't like it. It will start to. So this is the ground when we start. Okay, we start from this mind and not go with the thoughts. Just let it go. And if we put our attention into the breathing, when we inhale, a thought comes. We start to get the thought. When we exhale, we just let go of the thought. What happens next? Another thought comes, and another one, and another one, and another one. And then we are starting to be aware and more aware of the fact that all day long we are just having thousands and thousands of thoughts that we take for real and go with them. So meditation helps us to observe all of this. Otherwise, we will just be the slaves of our mind. We'll just go with we'll just flow with the thoughts.
Control
so
of our
it's really
thoughts.
normal, and this is the idea, to see the mind how it goes, like bananas, you know.
Yes,
Yeah,
I have to try.
yeah. It's really cool.
I want to share a quote from Marcus Aurelius' book, also called Meditations. He says that, it may be also from Roman philosopher Seneca, but they say that we suffer more in imagination than reality, where we put some things in our mind that we have to achieve, and if we cannot, it's the end of the world, but it's surely not. So these tools and techniques may help us to put these boundaries away in our mind and think about the beauty of life. But unfortunately, this fast-paced world of today really don't help me at this point. For example, I studied translation and interpreting studies in Istanbul, and the courses are so heavy that, let me share experience. On Mondays, I have 10 consecutive courses where it goes from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. And it starts with simultaneous interpreting, which you have to achieve a state of mind so relaxed that you wouldn't make any mistakes, and these mistakes may prove very difficult things, where if you misinterpret a word, even it may make a big change. So I want you to say and give me some advices that how did you learn about these tools and techniques, so I can use them as well.
I learned it about the real life experience, because I think also breathing is a real ancient thing that comes from the ancient world, because breathing is in the human being. It's vital. So if you control breathing, you can control your mind, and you can relax yourself and use this to be more mindful, be more relaxed, and like this.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course, breathing is in between control and natural, because it comes natural. We don't have to, but being aware of it, yeah, it's like a tool so close to us at all times. You don't have to go somewhere to find the tool, to search for it. You don't need to go in a quiet place to do it. You don't need to. You can be right here, right now, and just be mindful of and you can use, because breathing is not mindfulness, but we use breathing as a tool to be the observer, and that state, that space creates the space necessary for the mindfulness. Yeah. So the question was where do I got these tools for myself? When I was young, I was always into martial arts and stuff like that. So I had the first encounter with at the very end of the session, we would just sit in a meditation posture and stay for a while. So that was my first encounter. But at 20 or something years, I went into a deep depression, really deep depression. If I would speak about depression until then, I would just speak nonsense, because I would never knew what depression is until I went there, you know. And from that point, that change entirely changed my life. From that point, slowly I start asking questions, but in the most sincere possible way. So being sincere about my situation, answers come. And of course, these answers were the ones that I was resonating with. So here comes this whole tradition, here comes these tools that help me to, that actually worked, you know, that actually worked. This is all that matters with the tool. If it doesn't work, it's not a good tool, you know. So for myself, I just use the nowadays technology. This is the good thing, because we have technology in our pocket. Right now, we can just, at the push of a button, we are everywhere. So just to give an example, like thousands of years ago, to take the tradition from India to China, they have to have these scrolls, these big scrolls with texts and everything, go through a big journey. Some of them were lost, some people died and everything. But right now, you just push a button and you have everything you want. If you want to prove to yourself that this is good, you will find reason on the internet that they are. So yeah, I use the internet, I use YouTube, I use this to encounter people that were actually really good known advisors, were people that guided. So through these tools, through this to internet and to my phone, I actually use it to my advantage, and not just scrolling social media and stuff like that.
There are many advantages and disadvantages this internet and the rapid development of technology brought to us.
Sure.
But one disadvantage is that there's a constant surge of information to our minds, which doesn't help us in achieving the state of mind, the peace of mind. And now, these tools and techniques may help us to take a step back from the surge of information and evaluate the situation that we are in. So we talked about breathing, reading, and meditations, which are all very valuable tools and techniques. But are there any tools and techniques that you have heard but haven't practiced yet in our life, and are you willing to use them one day?
I said it. I want to try meditation. Now I'm more curious speaking with Livio, because he gave me this information, and I want to try another time with this new information, because it can be really helpful also because this word you said with smartphone, social media, you have to calm down 30 minutes, isolate, concentrate about yourself, about your thoughts, and think all about that.
Yeah. For myself, I think in my experience, tools always came when they were needed. Until then, I would not even see them. I would not be even be aware of them. But when I needed them, they just came in the perfect moment, you know. So I don't know. What I would say is that speaking about mindfulness, we cannot speak about mindfulness without creating this base on which we can construct. And that base, if you go in any tradition, you will find it. It's about not killing, not stealing, not sexual misconduct, not lying, and in some tradition, not taking intoxicants like alcohol and stuff, because when you take intoxicants, you start doing the other stuff, you know. And I think we cannot speak about meditation and mindfulness and and those tools. We cannot speak about them unless we resolve this in our life. Unless we stop lying, we cannot be mindful. I cannot say, okay, I just go on in my life chit-chatting, I go on in my life gossiping, I go on in my life killing. And when I say killing, of course we have the high level of killing, like human killing, like crimes and stuff. But it all goes down to even a mosquito. If you kill anything, if you lie, it doesn't have to be a big lie. Even if you're doing a small lie, these kind of things in your life, harming somebody, and then trying to go into the meditation, and then trying to breathe, and then trying to achieve all these things, it's not possible. It's like trying to cook rice, but instead of rice you use sand. It's not working. So I think the first technique is to resolve this thing in our life, to be sure we are not harming, we are not doing those things. Because if we're doing, our mind will be agitated. Just think about this. You just lied to your parents. How can you be mindful after that when you cannot look them in the eyes? Is that mindful? No. But in the same time, you can be mindful. You can be aware of, okay, I just lied. So it feels like this. So mindfulness, it's about being the observer. So you can lie and then you feel like this and you are the observer and you realize, okay, now I feel like this. This is the retribution of the fact that I did this, I got this. So right now I'm aware of it, so I'll be more careful not to do it. And when you start cleaning, then the fruits of life would be so beautiful, so wonderful. Everything will be chill, everything will be nice. You won't have a fight with people. You won't want to achieve anything. It's everything is good by itself, you know.
So I think it's also think about our Western culture with religion also.
Okay.
You said don't lie, don't. It's also the 10.
Of course, that's what I was saying. If you go in most of the tradition, not all, because some of them may be a little bit off, but most of the tradition would just make this the main thing. Just don't do these things.
Yes.
Because if you do it, it's not that it's something bad, like in general. But if you do it, your life will be agitated. Your life would be like a prison, you know.
Yes.
Even if you have a lot of money, let's say you steal a lot, okay, and you have a lot of money, a lot of wealth, and you can have all these wonderful things around you, but you're going to be caught in an afraid loop. You're going to feel fear, a lot of fear into your life. Yes. It will be there and will be stuck with you, you know. So, you know.
Yes. Yes.
These rules are made for us to think about our life and reevaluate them so we can achieve mindfulness in a way. So let me give you an example. In Turkish tradition, it says even a slight gossiping may just destroy a family altogether, and it may affect many lives. And you also thought about there's a moment where we wouldn't need a tool or technique anymore, so they are not that constant. And what can you say about it? when is a moment where a tool and technique might not be needed anymore? And what would you do when that time comes?
Well, there are various moments in your life when you need something about your life, about your experience. You experience something in life, so you have to face that and use the tools to face that. The tools are related to your daily life, to what you are feeling in that moment of your life, of your day. The tools are about the moments. You use one tool, and there is a moment when you realize that the tool is no more useful for you. So you have to just let it go. You have to realize that and let it go until you find the moment where you need another tool. So you have to do research about this tool. You have to manage this tool, and you have to use it until it's no more useful.
Yeah, sure. Because as you said, a tool is a tool as long as it's needed. If it's not needed, you just let it go. There is like a parable of the raft. You can think about, you want to go on the other shore of a river, and you use a boat, and you go on the other shore of the river, but you don't keep the boat with you when you arrive there. You just don't drag it on the sand. You just let it there and move on. Yeah.
You may use the wood from the raft to build a house, maybe.
Of course.
So
yeah.
we can reinvent our tools and techniques in our life to continue us to better mindfulness.
Especially because the life will always change. We are in a constant change. You can see how these teachings adapt to the present moment, and they are not stuck. And that's the main point here, not to be stuck in a. I think about this topic. There is a really big danger to take a tool and then to identify with it. Your ego will stuck with it, and even if you don't need it anymore, you just stuck with it because that's the truth. But I don't feel like there is a truth. There is a truth for now. So I use this for now and later, because mindfulness is not something to achieve. Mindfulness, it's and being the observer, it's something that manifests itself if there is space for it, and it's always there. The thing is that we just put a lot of blankets on top of it. So it's not about achieving something from exterior. It's not something using meditation to achieve a certain state, like a blissful state and everything. There is bliss already. There is a chill already. There is everything you need already. You just don't see it. So we use these tools to clean up. And when those things are cleaning, the mindfulness manifests itself. It doesn't need you to gain something. So it's not about gaining something. Yeah.
Okay.
So if we look at the point where our fast-paced world brought us today, let's get into a case study where we will think about how this constant surge of information brought us today. Consider that we are all teenagers, and we get information, and these may not be needed and may be needed, of course, from our smartphones and social media. How would you deal with this problem where the youth experience this constant surge of information?
As you know, we are born with the phones practically, because we born with phones and later with the social media. We are not like our parents that the phones come in their life. This is always been there. So we have to learn to manage it. Manage the information that he can gives us. Social media gives us a lot of information, a lot of way of life that we can achieve, but they are way of life that are that set a standard, and you are always to looking at this, and you are not happy because you are always looking at standard. So you have to learn to manage it. Use your phone and use the social media for your daily life. Like Liviu said, there are a lot of information. These are the real things about the phones, because with this you can achieve every information in every language in all the world. So these are the good things about the phones and the social media.
Yeah. So just use it in your. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, as you said, just use technology in your advantage. It's so easy nowadays to destroy ourselves through it. Because I find myself using social media and creating an image that I want to keep there. As you said, there is a standard, and you always try to achieve that standard to be there. And it's not possible. It's impossible. So you're in on continuous anxiety. So in my experience, what I did was just let down of social media. For me, it worked because I don't know how to put it. My friends, my people around me, I can interact with them without using of social media, But also I create some content for certain groups, so I have a social media account. So to look how this content looks like, or to but it stops here, But in the same time, I often find myself on YouTube looking, because I don't have Facebook, Instagram, and all of these to look at, or TikTok. I often find myself using YouTube to just distract myself in points where I don't know what to do. It's this anxiety that I always have to do something. This drive that I have to be in motion. And my mind often comes to me and says, okay, but this information is cool, because I'm not necessarily looking at destroying information. I'm looking at interesting information and stuff. And my mind would say, well, this is cool, this is nice information. But at the same time, I know, no, just put it down. Just let it go, because there's no need for it. So I think a tool for using... because also the phone manufacturers and Android and iPhone and stuff like that, they realize that there is a problem. So nowadays you have like timers and time for bed and stuff like that. You can use this in your advantage as well, because it's not that easy to say, oh, just don't use it, because we are already stuck in it, in this environment. So with maybe steps like this, like putting a limit for your day, okay, I just look half an hour now, and this is fine. I had enough, because this dopamine, this constant flow of chemicals in ourselves, high and low and high and low, it's a cycle that will never end. It's just a cycle we are caught on.
Yes.
So it's quite dangerous nowadays. I look around, and energy drinks as well. This is kind of crazy. It's going nuts.
It is, unfortunately. Whether it be from ourselves or given to us from outside, like these time manager applications, we have to use these tools and techniques so we may get the best of these benefits of our fast-paced world. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mikhail. Thank you, and Liviu.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You can hear.
And that's all.